this is Io Kirkwood from the Bridge Healing Center. I'm here delivering the numerology session of our Tarot Share. The Tarot Share is held at the Bridge Healing Center at 400 North Center Street. It's actually in the Enchanted Forest, and that's where we are in this beautiful room. And we have it every second and fourth Tuesday of the month, and it's from 4 to 6 p.m. by popular demand. So we have a number of students here, and I'm going to go over numerology, and also we have the wonderful Bridge store that has every tarot card you could possibly imagine. We have test decks that you can try out. We have books about tarot, and of course we have people who specialize in tarot who can answer your questions. So let's begin with numerology. Numerology, well, it's based on numbers, but it was really hyped up by people like Pythagoras, people who were in the occult, like Agrippa, and also the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. And numerology is its own discipline. However, the Tarot actually has multiple disciplines within it, including the Kabbalah. It has the 4 and 5 element systems. It has numerology, it has symbology, and it has astrology. So this session today is about numerology. So there are 10 numbers in numerology that really count, and that's 0 to 9. And after that, it's just a combination of numbers and what they mean. So 0 is basically the cosmic egg, the seed, the fool, basically the start of your journey. There is no beginning and no end. So that is why 0 is such a really cool number. But it also adds value to the other numbers because it increases their potential. So if you have a 10, it takes 1 and it magnifies it. So let's move on to 1. 1 is singular. It's a straight line. It is one-dimensional, but it is also about the very interior of ourselves, our individuality, our separateness from other things. So when you look at a 1, you see a new beginning coming from inside, okay? 2 is the number where you actually meet the mirror, all right? So 2 can mean 2 choices. It can mean 2 paths. It can mean a mirror that's coming up to you. It could mean a partner. It could be any of those things that involves meeting up with another 1, okay? So your internal world meeting with someone else's internal world. Now, in the context of the tarot, when we look at these numbers, we're looking at how many there are. So if you have 3 2s, you know this is probably going to be about decisions that you have to make and also about interacting with people who may have opposing viewpoints. 3 is considered a number of harmony. And basically what we're looking at is someone who is complete in and of themselves. It's sort of like the mother, father, baby kind of thing. So it's a unit, a family. So 3s generally indicate people coming together, celebrations. They also can mean decisions and working together, things that we want to do with groups and communities. And then of course we move into 4, number 4, which is foundation. A lot of tarot decks interpret 4s as power, stability, foundation, something that you can build on. Or it may also indicate if it's in a reverse situation, it could indicate your foundation is not great to build on. Please don't. So 4s are about foundations and about building something more. You have your toolkit already. Everything's set. But now you're going to build on top of that. Now 5 is my favorite number and my most feared number because it is the number of change. So when 5s come up, what we see is actually mutable energy moving from one situation into another. So we have the solidness of the 4. Now that is breaking down, and it's going to then move into 6. So when you see a whole bunch of 5s, you know that there's going to be a lot of like push and pull and tugging and changing and uncomfortable. Okay? If there's just one 5, then it only relates to, say, the element that it's in, such as a sword. But when you see a whole bunch of them, it means, hey, this situation, it's moving and shaking. All right, and not all of it is comfortable. Then we move into 6. This 6 is like harmony squared. Okay, and the reason why is because the harmony of 3 and the foundation of 4 has been tested by the change of 5. And if you'll watch in the tarot readings, if you're looking for series of numbers, that really helps too. It'll be like 4, 5, 6, 7, and you'll be like, whoa, this is an entire process happening right in front of me. But 6 is like super harmony again, because it's been tested by the changes of 5, and this is what has emerged out of that. So 5 is like the mini dark night of the soul in the middle of your suits. So if it's in wands, a 5 could indicate a spiritual, like, whoops, hiccup, or, you know, kind of a mess that you have to deal with. Whereas with swords, it's in your mind, cups, it's in your heart, and of course, pentacles, it's physical. So 6 is building on the changes that have occurred and the things that have been removed. So it's a fresher start, a more tested harmony. 7 is the number of the seeker. And this is, now that you are finally in your place of 6 and knowing who you are, because basically 6 is like the star coming out of, you know, the dark night of the soul. 7 is now, oh, now I'm really curious about the world around me, and I can look outward and I can seek. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to look for the truth in things. So 7s are a tendency, this idea, especially if you have a lot of them, these 7s are, I'm going to go out, I'm going to see for myself, you know, kind of thing. Testing the inner resolve that they have created from the changes of 5 into 6. Now they're going to go test it externally. So the seeker goes out into the world to figure things out, but it is an internal process. And you'll see that as we hit 8. 8 is a number of power. So anytime you see 8s, you know that it's temporal power. It's about exercising the understandings that you've acquired at 7. All right? So when you go out into the world and you do the 7s, what comes out of it, if you take care of the knowledge that you receive, if you implement it properly, is manifestation. 8 is the number of, like, serious, it's a double 4, manifestation. This is true power. Right? And then 9 is going to be when you move into you go inward instead this time. The 9 is really the inward one, the hermit, the one where, oh, I know what it really means to be happy. I know what it really means to have, you know, the things that I need, like the 9 of Cups, that's satiety, all right? So that means that you have fulfillment. Now, of course, in Swords, it's the 9, that anxious card, but this is basically the fullness of expression of your anxiety, right? It isn't just the little blips and things. It's like keeping you up at night and having you run through the motions. So as we go through the numbers, they're really just an adding up of each other. So 10, Wheel of Fortune. Well, that's 1, individuality and the experiences that you have, with the 0, which amplifies it, which means that you're including more in your sphere of influence, because 0s amplify things. And then we hit 11, well, that's 1 and 1, right? 2, because we can combine it, but we can also look at it as 1 and 1, 2 people coming and meeting each other. Or in this particular instance, that 1 is you and all of your little stuff, and the universe going, there are immutable walls, and you're going to get your butt kicked. So as you go through, you can take the individual numbers in a double number and break it down into that and look at it that way. And then you can also then combine them for its, you know, sort of like foundation number. So justice would be 2. All right, and justice usually indicates that there are 2 opposing sides and that a mediation has to be done, or a choice has to be made, or it's saying the universe has already made the choice for you, okay? And then as we move into, say, 21, which is the world, we're looking at fulfillment, completion 3, but this is a 3 that is a 2 and a 1 that has gone all the way through all the other numbers. So it is a completion that is even more eloquent and elegant than just a 3. All right, and that's why 21 is considered a power number. And the double numbers like 11 and 22, just numerologically speaking, are the things that they move forward into deeper meanings, more powerful meanings. I mean, a double 2, it's like, yes, we have choices. We have lots of choices. But it's also sort of like the world has opened itself to me because I've stepped beyond the doorway of 21 into 22. So that's how I look at numerology. I look at it the way that it works for me and how it presents itself in my tarot readings. So if you want to dive deeper into numerology, that's just a short little idea of how important it is, but you can go ahead and take a look at your cards when we do the readings later on and try the numerology out. So that concludes our numerology lesson for today. However, I want to encourage you to come out to the next tarot share. That's going to be in September 8th, I believe it is. It's a Tuesday from 4 to 6 p.m. We have decks here for you to use. Bring your own deck. Definitely bring something to write with and to write in, because I do individual one-card readings for you before we start. And you'll have plenty of cards to learn about and methods to learn. And I thank you for September 12th and the 26th. So it's not the 8th, it's September 12th and September 26th, 4 to 6 p.m. here at the Enchanted Forest of the Bridge Healing Center at 400 North Center Street, Westminster, Maryland, 21157. Thank you for attending, and namaste.